Hey Chantal, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So if you don't know Chantal Kamgne, she is from Canada and she's a great translator. Can you just remind us a few of the things you're involved with at the moment?
Yeah, hi Philippe. I'm Chantal Kamgne. I'm a localization specialist. I am a certified translator in Quebec and Ontario, a translation expert at the Cour supérieure du Québec. I've been translating since 2006, so that's about 19 years, localizing software mostly and automotive UIs. I ended up incorporating into Localist. So we have Localist Canada, Localist Africa, and Localist Data. We help companies communicate with their audience in a linguistically and culturally aware, making their content culturally aware. And I also work in a lot of inclusion, diversity, and accessibility programs, members of some committees and boards, founding members of International Language Equity and Accessibility Driver. I think that's most of it. And also program manager for Engage Africa and the Engage Africa NLP app, where we're trying to support low resource languages through AI.
Good. So you wish you had 27 hours days, I guess.
Yeah, about 48 hours would be good.
That's great. Well, I'm very glad to have you. And since you've been involved with AI and, we've seen you commenting on what's happening with AI for translators and why is it good and what is not so good about it. I thought showing you some of the things that are present in Wordfast Anywhere at the moment, because I think that's nice for translators to see what they can use. And at the same time, it would be great for me to have a bit of your feedback to see if you find that useful and, where things can go, because, there's only, there's no stopping, in how much we can learn, and, getting feedback is very good. So
Absolutely. I love the way you're going about it by keeping the human at the core of what you're doing and also putting them at the lead of the use of AI.
right, thanks. So I'll try sharing my screen. So I'll try to explain. So this is the test environment. So some of the stuff we'll see will be coming out, but most of it is already published. So let me just show you how users can use AI at the moment. So we have an AI panel, and they can add their AIs. So, nothing new from there. They just click here and they add pre-configured AIs. So we have Gemini, ChatGPT, Hugging Face, Lara, Mistral, Widen, DeepSeek, and we have also Maritalk, which is a Brazilian LLM, and it can be used monolingual, so it won't be used for translation, but you can use it to rework text on your target. And if the AI the user wants to use is not listed here, they can use the custom tab where they can start adding stuff. And so if we look at, let's say we wanted to add Mistral, then that pops up. They just need to put in here their API key, and immediately they see some default prompts that have been added for them. So these are all the default prompts that the translators can use. So you have the basic one used to translate, and it will just work as if it were a machine translation. So it will just do the translation, and that's it. Another one we have here, used to translate considering context. So when you do that, the AI will receive the source text for the preceding segment and for the following segment. So say if you're working on segment 2, well, then it will give you the translation based on the context from segment 1 and segment 3 as well. So that helps a lot with vocabulary. Because, in automotive, if you, for example, translate something and you just send one segment, well, then the AI will probably use the wrong terminology for it.
Possibly, yeah.
We also have translate fuzzy repair. So that's one of my favorites. This one, if you have TM matches for the current segment, it will look at them and send them also to the AI and tell the AI to translate following the style and vocabulary found in the TM.
That's
So,
fun.
yeah, that's quite nice.
Mhm.
DEI, so this one tells the AI to translate, trying to do something that is without gender bias. This one here tells the AI to translate in shorter form. This one changes the style to formal. This one is to make casual. And as you see, when we start moving from there, some of them are not for translation. They are called to enhance, style, and tone. And all these that are marked to enhanced, they are not triggered when you're translating. I will show you in a minute. They are triggered by using a button. And so you can see them acting. So using a button, you can, for example, if this one is active, you can select a word, and it will look at the synonyms for that word you highlighted and give you a list of synonyms and highlight the one it thinks it's best. And you can do some checks as well. So for QA, you can look at the vocabulary. You can get, for example, editing suggestions, so how to make the text feel more natural. And if you are reviewing someone's work and the instruction was not to use AI for translation, well, this prompt here will check whether the text has been created by AI. So that works better on long segments.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the default ones that we have. And we have all the building tools. If someone wants to create a new one, they have all the information on how to do it and edit it.
Oh, yeah. I immediately have one feedback about the GI that can be adapted for something that I was thinking about and that I may have to present on soon. For cultural content specialists, there is, harmful biases, harmful norms, gender norms sometimes. So this is something that can help. Like this is I was about to look into prompting practice to help content specialists not only fix the translation but also flag harmful biases and norms in source text, and that is very very interesting for that. The red flag indicators that you can add. Yeah, so that's interesting.
Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, so that's something that can be used. Yeah, absolutely.
See, in some languages, the doctor immediately it's a he,
Yeah,
or you find text like and harmful biases and norms is not geographically limited to some areas. Even in Western world, you would boys don't cry. Trying to. I'm not native in English, so sometimes lose my word. So that to reframe things, the role of a woman, a role of a man, men supposed to serve women, and the language is biased towards that. And it's good that AI can help with that because sometimes the text is so big, you can use AI to flag those occurrences
yeah,
generally, and then you can fix it, use the human insight to fix it, which
yeah,
is something that's very good.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, so all these will work segment by segment. But if you're working on a segment and you're unsure about, for example, if your audience needs some specific text that they don't want some sort of bias in it, well, you can do that. You can, prepare a prompt for a specific type of bias and have it as a red flag, and you can even ask it to give you a suggestion, you know. And that prompt, you can decide to have it active for every segment you're translating or just to trigger it from a button.
Yes.
So that can be interesting this way. So let's see, for example, if I open this segment. So with AI, because you're asking it to do a lot of things, it becomes slightly slower. But what do we have here? So we have basic translation, okay? So just as if it was machine translation. Then this next one has looked at the context, if there was something before or after. This one looked at the TM, but there was nothing in the TM for that. And this one is trying to make the text without gender bias, DI, okay. And you see the differences now from the text of what this does. Now, if I want to, for example, this word here in the target, let's say I wanted to have some synonyms. Now I have all my buttons, and even if I have a lot of prompts that I may have made active, I don't have to trigger all of them at once and eat all my tokens in one go. I can just select the ones that are adequate for what I'm doing at the moment. So terminology and domain. So let's see. Yeah, wait for AI. Okay. So that's the answer from ChatGPT. So for this target text in French, méticuleusement, it went trying to find several synonyms for it, and it decided to highlight these ones as best alternatives. But we don't have to follow his word for it. We know better, so we choose what we want. But that's how it works. You can trigger these responses. You can get suggestions, like you were saying. So you can select what you want. You can also have a prompt that forces to translate, for example, looking at the glossary, because we can also make that happen, looking at the glossary. And one thing I like that will be coming, so all you're seeing at the moment, it's all there already. So anybody connecting to Wordfast Anywhere, they can use that right now and use all these buttons so they can, assign. So when I was showing, so if I'm taking this short segment here, which will go faster.
What browsers are supported?
Normally, most browsers will work. So even if you are on Android or iOS, it will work. But the main ones that we know work very well: Firefox, Chrome, and Safari.
Oh, great! Yeah.
So these we know they work. So this button here, okay. So we have all, so that will trigger all of them. And you have style and tone, QA, so all these up until other. Prompt chain is something I will explain in just a second. But all these, you can assign different prompts to each of them. So when you are going to your prompt setup menu and you select them, you can have several AIs working at the same time. It doesn't have to be just one, okay? So you can prefer one prompt from, for example, Claude, and you can prefer one prompt from ChatGPT, and and you can have them selected and sorted out in different AIs. And you can here assign different categories. So, for example, this one here, if I edit it, it's in style and tone, but I can decide to assign it, a different button that, you are assigning it a different button when you're looking at it. The category here is for the button, and whatever makes more sense to you, you save, and that will be that. And the buttons, they can get assigned keyboard shortcut. So when you're working, you don't even have to look up. You can just trigger the prompt you want from your keyboard.
Yeah.
So that's what we have right now. And I think that's quite a lot, to be able to do all that directly while you're translating. I think that's quite nice.
Nice. Any plans to make these beyond segment level? And I know it's already 3 segments because it uses previous, current, and next. That's 3. But is there plans to go beyond that?
There could be. If users see that maybe previous segment and next segment are not enough, maybe the developers could add more parameters to have maybe 3 segments before, 3 segments after, that that can be done. I'm not saying they will, but if there's a rationale behind that and people are asking for it, maybe that could be done. And later down the road, we'd like to have the option to look at the entire file. We're not there yet, but that's something that has been thought about on the roadmap.
Yeah, so you don't have to learn all about RAG and things like that.
Exactly. Okay, so working with prompts, something I noticed is that when the AI was asked to do a translation that was gender neutral, you very often end up with a lot of pronouns that have been left in.
Mm.
And thinking about that with the development team, we came up with a method, and I think it's quite nice. When you look at a text like this one, which is a nightmare for making it gender neutral, which you have a conversation between a headmaster that is gone fishing with a few students, and so everybody has a different name, and one has a job, which is the headmaster and stuff like that. So it becomes very complicated. So that's a nightmare for AI also to do that. And one way to do it is to work the text differently. So not asking it just to translate. But then how do you do that? Because you either work the source or you work the target. And beyond that, it becomes very complicated in one prompt to do the job. But if you separate the prompts, well, maybe you get a better result. So what we will be releasing in a few weeks is prompt chaining. Okay, so if I select that one, this means that I can create several prompts and then assign them to work as a chain. So let me explain. So for example, here the prompt one, it will get the source text and it will rewrite it. So here the source text is in English. So the source text will get rewritten in a gender neutral manner.
Okay.
And in step two will grab the result from step one, which is gender neutral English text, and translate it still in a gender neutral style in the target language. And once that's done, then we need to enhance the clarity of who's doing what action-wise in the text. So step three, we look at the previous and the next segment to see if there are identifiers present, for example, names, so that we can get them attributed to understand the action. So the step three will rework the target by introducing the names found in the previous and the following step if needed. And the step four will rewrite the whole target segment to make sure it's easy to read.
Yeah, I see the rationale of that,
Yeah.
of chaining the prompts.
Yeah, and
Can't be done in one prompt.
Yeah, and every time that's a different prompt. So every time the AI is doing something fresh. So if I can say the cognitive load on the AI is less.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try this one, 31. Let's see if the chain does something for us. Yeah, prompt chain. Doesn't look too bad to me.
Doesn't look bad at all.
And I don't think you can get that as a result on first go, with any AI if you're not doing it that way.
There really is a good rationale for splitting like that. It would be hard to have it in one prompt.
So there you go. So you have all these, and this system works also on pre-translate. So you can go grab a coffee, and when you're back, it's done for the whole file.
which is great because sometimes I worry about the environmental impact of prompting every single segment.
Yeah, yeah, but if you use it efficiently, so that you're not, reiterating 10 times in a row, and you get something that is close to something that needs less editing when you're doing it, well, then that's good use.
Yeah.
Let's see another chain. So now I'm going to something that is completely different, which is the needs of voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing voiceover, and you're translating that, it's something close to transcreation, because you have to think of, the syllables, so that you try to meet, the movements of the mouth of the original actor, the face and all that. So which is very hard to do on text. But that's where this prompt chain comes in. So if we look here at this prompt chain, this one, here are the steps. So the first prompt grabs the source text and translates it to phonetic characters. Okay, so just to have the sounds,
Yeah.
The second step, it looks at the source and it counts the syllables present in the source, and it adds it at the end of the phonetic sentence, if you may. So what we have created so far is a line that has the source phonetics and the number of syllables. And when we come to step 3, we ask the AI to translate the source text, but to make an effort to match the number of syllables that were present in the source, and to try to utilize the sounds that were made in the source when possible, and trying to keep the meaning and not destroy the language, just to respect that. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the prompt chain. Okay, and so this one, it still needs fine tuning, for the prompts. So I'll be reworking those prompts, because I think they need a little more work, but I think we're slowly getting there. So let's see, for example, let's try this line, segment 11. So what strikes me is that that's not written text right
Mm-hmm.
away. That's closer to what people would say in a conversation. And when you look at the segment expansion, it's quite good, because normally French suffers language expansion. It uses more space for the text than English. And in here, we are doing quite well.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. So I'm biased as well,
That's
because I like that.
what I agree with the fact that AI empowers linguists, and it's a good thing. It does not replace us at all. It
Absolutely not.
gives us leverage, and yeah, I am absolutely not against AI. These are ways in which it can help us move faster, which we need again, because I say when you look at the amount of content, when we started learning translation, what we were learning about why there was content to translate at all, and the reason was that industrialization. And today, with content explosion, there's so much stuff that's happening online. There's global mobility. There is so much, much, much more content. We have no idea, and we need help. And again, even with AI, we're not there yet. There's still a lot of content that doesn't
That's
get
true.
help. And maybe I don't know if there's something next after AI.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Because yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Or
happening
maybe
right now. But
a different way of using it that can help people while not affecting the environment negatively. It's,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
mm,
yeah, that's a big concern. Yeah, very big concern. Uh, But looking at what translators do, um, AI is not there to replace them. But if machine translation did help in some situations reduce the work needed, not always, because when it's bad, the effort needed to fix something is far bigger than doing it from scratch.
Yep.
But since AI is different in the way that if you have a specific need, you can tell it to work in a way that will match your need, you
Mhm.
know. So you can get it maybe to do things for you that will make your life easier.
Yes.
And I think that's what should happen, that the way AI is used for translators when we're translating is it makes it easier.
Mhm.
And if we have some text that gives us ideas or inspires us, it's more a help than fixing something that is bad, period. You know. So if there are ways that we can do that, well, that's nice.
Yeah, and there's content where AI can absolutely not help. There are some media content for which if you cannot use AI for it at all. There are some content where you need AI. If you user manuals, you have to go through for every single model year, for every brand, million words. AI can help leverage even the memory, and then what you call smart matching,
Mm,
fixing, yeah, that there it can help. But there are, so it depends on the type of content that you're working on, and with insights, you will know where you can use it and where you can't.
yeah, completely. So are there things that you think could be interesting to have while working with AIs on your text? Say you're in a CAT tool, you're translating. There's something you'd like to be able to do that's not there at present and that maybe AI could help with?
I think I suggested multi-segments, like more than 3 segments, access to source content for
Mm,
more context. That's the main thing. Other thing I also already suggested that wasn't for myself, for my visually impaired colleagues,
mm,
so that we can be, because we want to be we want to bridge barriers. That's our job. That's why we
yeah.
are here. We also have to start with us, within the industry, include visually impaired colleagues. I think AI can help a lot with that. There are many things I have in mind, but I'm not. I have a software background, but I'm not a developer. I only know enough coding to piss them off by suggesting things that that are difficult to do. But yes, there's a lot of things that tech and AI can help.
Yeah.
And there, yeah, uh, good prompting, ability to customize prompts the way that you have shown. It's a good thing to have, and I see how it can help with some things that I was about to learn. I'm happy I got you today. Yeah, I have answers to something I was about to look for answers elsewhere, because it's very flexible as a tool too. It's not some other tools that exist that are on the market don't always allow us to do everything that we want to do.
Mm,
Sometimes it's pre-configured, it's rigid. So I'm liking the flexibility here. Main thing that
nice.
I want to see happen is mostly for expanding the amount of text that is being handled at a time for those
I'll
two.
yeah, I'll bring that back to the developers. I don't think that's very hard for them to do that. Adding parameters to expand where we look. If well, I don't know. I'm not the coder, so I'll ask them. Can't make promises, but yeah, I see the idea, and it does make sense. It does make
Yeah.
sense. And I think we're trying to bring as many ready-made prompts
Mhm.
that we know work, that we can, so that people can get inspired by them, so that they
Mhm.
can use them out
Mhm.
of the box, but also that they can think of something that maybe they'd like to have. So, oh, that's possible. I didn't know, or I can do that. So maybe I'd like something like this instead, so they can start working with it. And along those lines, later this year, uh, so that's something that's on the roadmap, but before the end of the year, that should be there. Users of Wordfast Anywhere, they will be able to collectively share their prompts. So there will be like a database, and if you create a prompt, you like it, and you say, I'm going to share that with the community that's using Wordfast Anywhere, they will hit a button, and that will become one of the default prompts that you can go search for.
Yeah.
And so that will be useful because some people, they are scared of prompting, they don't know how it works, and for them to be able to rely on those that like it or are enthusiastic about it and write prompts, and well, then they can benefit from their help if these are willing to share. So that will be there also, so that people working together, well, or even just a team, if because Wordfast Anywhere can work as a TMS. So there are translation agencies that are using it. So if within the translation agency they say, well, look, use this prompt, it's working better. It's easier to publish it and for somebody to select it and just click and it works, rather than having to do some copy paste and then you never know if it's going to go well. So that will be there in a little bit. We hope that will be useful.
This was fun. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you for joining me,
Yeah.
Chantal. I'm very happy, and your feedback is invaluable. So,
Yeah.
wish you all the best.
Hopefully we get to do this again and maybe have more
Yeah, why
useful.
not? Sure, why not?
Yes. Okay.
All right.
That's very
Thank
good.
you very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.